Hey, gods and goddesses, January horoscope. So we are in January 2025, and we have a month ahead of us. We have Mars in retrograde in Leo currently. We have Venus going into Pisces on the 2nd. Venus loves Pisces, it is exalted in Pisces. We have Mars retrograde, and it's going to be going into Cancer from Leo. And then we have Mercury in Capricorn starting on the 8th, and then we have the full moon on the 13th in Cancer. The sun is going to go into Aquarius on the 19th, and Mercury is going to be moving into Aquarius on the 27th. We have the new moon in Aquarius on the 29th, and we have Uranus going direct on the 30th in Taurus. These are major. So, first, we're going to start off. I just want to start off by saying do not be afraid of going slowly. Going slowly is the theme of this month because we are in a season of, retrograde, and we're having these large and big planetary movements in the year 2025, and it's just an adjustment, honestly, right? So do not be afraid of going slowly. Be afraid of standing still. Remember that success is truly liking yourself and liking the things that you do and liking how you do it. And I say that because going into the year, the Mars retrograde, there is really a question of vitality. What do you want to do? Where's your creativity really guiding you? Is it a level of overindulgence? How are your children doing? These are questions, that we're asking going into this year, but also feeling as though because there's going to be an opposition there's going to be an opposition of Aquarius and Pluto and um Leo and Mars, right? In the beginning of this month. And this is a powerful, like, um, collision. Honestly, this is a collision. They're going to be opposing each other. Pluto and Mars are both destructive planets. And them being in opposition at the beginning of the month, it's almost like you're in opposition with yourself. You're in opposition to what truly matters to you. Going through transformations through the year or trying to commit to transformations is how we're all going into this year. I want to be a better person, I want to do this, I want to do that. But the Pluto and Mars opposition really takes us, gives us, tells us to take a step back, like I said, and look at your own behavior. Mars in Leo, it's kind of like, does my voice really matter? You know what I'm saying? And then Pluto in Aquarius is standing in that authentic voice. So it's having yourself being expressed in an authentic way, like, does it has, is it stifled by children? It's stifled by society. Are you afraid to say what you need to say to society? Are you afraid to get out there? Like, what are you afraid of? It's really about facing those fears. And then in the beginning of the month, it's almost like, all of these commitments are made by all of us, but there's this this intensity felt, almost as though, like, what do I do? Why am I not doing the right thing? And this hesitant of behavior to do anything at all, feeling like it's not even worth it anyway, right? And that's that lack of security, or the lack of, that insecurity that we see in Mars in Leo, right? When it's not getting what it wants, it feels like I want to quit, but keep on going, because I said it's better to go slow than to be standing still. And then Venus being exalted in Pisces is actually a great thing on the 2nd. This is Pisces is a sign, or Venus in Pisces. This is a compassionate lover. Someone who loves beyond the means of love. And only people who have Venus in Cancer or understand this true love or deep love of compassion, loving people unconditionally, no matter what's done, you want to understand Venus in Pisces. Venus in Pisces, it's almost like there's an overflow of love, right? And this is expressed through compassion with others, going, being creative, going to on romantic dates with another person. In this sign, this is expressed great in marriage, so this is a good time to see what needs to be um, like what needs to be fixed in marriages, what needs to be fixed in relationships. Try to stay at the position of, well, as I said, you're still going to feel the expression of Venus in Pisces, having this understanding more for other people outside of you. And so just try to remember that as this month goes on, having this feeling of deep compassion is going to get you through this month. Venus operates so well in this sign, and it can be expressed very well. So Mars going into Cancer. So Mars is going to be in Leo, but on the 6th is going to go into Cancer. And so Mars in Cancer is in his fall. And it's uncomfortable here because Mars wants to do and Cancer wants to feel. And so while it's operating in this sign, there's almost like you want to change the things around you, the things in your home. Maybe you want to finish unfinished projects. Maybe you want to tackle them. You want to move. Like there's just like this impulse to do something in the home or do something with the children. And you want to be mindful that if you feel frustrated or you feel very intense with the Mars retrograde in Cancer, that you use it in ways of expression. You use it in ways to express yourself. You're expressing your emotional body outwardly through creativity. It is important that when Mars is in Cancer, it can do well in its creativity. So redecorating the home, you know what I'm saying, redecorating your children's room, those are ways to really alleviate this type of intense energy of to do, but really you're just feeling like, what can I do, right? But like I said, there's this an emotional charge that you do have, and you want to make sure that you're making the right decisions without letting, your emotions overcloud it, and doing the proper research if necessary, like if you need to. And so Mercury going into Capricorn on the 27th, this is just common sense, right? Like, let's speak common sense. Let's talk the real. Let's talk business, stand on business or get out my face. And so, Mercury being in Capricorn, this would be a great time to talk about business, right? Talk about what matters to you, and not being as cold as Capricorn can be, or Mercury and Capricorn can come off as cold, but they're really just aiming for success. So, as I said, speak for the things that you want, right? Not so aggressive, not to get things so heated too, because they can get heated when we're talking about Mercury being in Capricorn, because Mercury in Capricorn, like I said, is very cold. It's very just straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? And this in January is a time where it's full of deep compassion. You know what I'm saying? So the workplace, and Capricorn is our workplace, right? And so showing up in the workplace, things cannot come off right when we're talking to father figures. We're talking to any like type of authority figure. Our speech is cold in that way. So just watch out in the workplace. But like I said, stand on business. Be as nice as you can, or put it as nicely as you can. Okay, and then the full moon in Cancer on the 13th, that's going to bring a combination for things that have to do with family, right? Whether it's ending, whether it's spending time with them, but there is like a great focus on the family, on the home. And as I said, because Mars is in your first house, well, not your first house, Mars is going to be in Cancer. I'm thinking about Cancer risings right now, but Mars is going to be in Cancer, and the Moon is going to be in Cancer as well. This is definitely, as they're coming together, this is definitely a time to let something go. Let a behavior go that no longer works for you, especially if it has to do with your emotional body. Like our emotions play a huge part in our makeup, and if we have a full moon in its home sign, it's truly time for us to let go of things that have to do with the home, that have to do with ancestry, traditions, move homes. Think about moving homes. See what needs to leave your home and what belongs in your home, checking on your children and things of that nature and their health. It's really a focus, and especially if you are Cancer rising, this is extremely into focus. Your home right now is your abyss. You know what I'm saying? It's your nirvana, and you must keep it clean. In order to really keep your emotions in check this month, as we all should. And so when the sun is entering into Aquarius on the 19th, this is basically a time for networking. Aquarius is a sign for being social. It's a sign for, coolness in that way. It is a sign that has us speak about, rationality when it comes to revolution, when it comes to what's right and what's wrong, stand for something, stand on purpose. There is a dream-like nature, but also a revel-like nature to the Aquarius sign, where it wants to get with like-minded people, rile them up for a cause that can benefit many. And so this is a time to spend time with people, with like-minded people, people who want the same things as you, or people who have done things that you would like to do. This is a perfect time, for that on the 27th. And then the new moon in Aquarius, like I said, this is a perfect time to do some networking, to whether you have to do things with technology, Aquarius is technology, like fix your computer, fix your TV or something of that nature. This is a good time to meet new friends that are like-minded and get involved in things or groups and projects that can help another person, um, or that can help the human race, right? And then we have, well, with this new moon, this is a good time for setting goals as well. Like, what friends do you want if you do not have those friends? What projects would you like to start if you haven't started it yet? And there is this great embrace for potential when it comes to making new connections and experiences with different people or different types of people, right? And that's the thing with this. It's meeting different types of people with unique standpoints and perspectives. It isn't so much that they're like-minded. Yes, there's a wave of like-mindedness in order, to come into connection, but they are their own individual force. And it definitely shows with their Aquarius, sun energy, and even the new moon in Aquarius as well, right? And so this is a great time to, like I said, envision the things that you want, with the new moon in Aquarius, and the things that you want for this world. That's a big thing. And Pluto is in Aquarius. So these are huge things that we all feel. Okay. And then on the 30th, when Uranus stations direct in Taurus, this is going to be time for us to accept change, right? Taurus is a fixed sign, not wanting to change. Uranus is a sign of sudden change, and sudden things happening. And so, there has been less change ever since Uranus has been in retrograde. But as it comes in stations direct, it's now an accepting of the change, because Uranus can be erratic in that way and just change very suddenly. And it's better to just maneuver, like just move into the change, because it's gonna, you can either change very slowly, which is gonna happen. You change slowly, not rapidly, because Uranus is a planet that lasts about 7 years. This is not a fast change. It feels fast when it's done, but slowly but surely, you're ready. You know what I'm saying? We're ready to move into the change. We understand its transformational power. The most important, actually, and my favorite transit of the month is the North Node in Pisces and South Node moving into Virgo. This nodal shift is very big, and especially because it's happening at the beginning of this Gregorian calendar year. It is a start of something, this is an initiation. And if you haven't gone to see my video on the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo, you should. I go in depth of what it means for your sign. This is a very powerful time. Anytime the nodes shift, this is an alignment for the nodal position. This is an alignment for that area of your life. So definitely go check out that video. I will explain briefly. On just January 11th, we have the nodes changing, Rahu changing from Aries to Pisces. And then we have the South Node, which is K2, changing from Libra to Virgo. And as it's changing to Pisces and Virgo, we're starting to understand, or we will understand, because this takes about 18 months to go through its transit, but we will understand that having compassion for oneself is necessary. Godly, calm down, like we're just living, we're just kids, and I don't mean in saying like, oh my goodness, of immaturity and things of that nature, but we make mistakes, we learn, right? And having that overly criticizing attitude starts to display in like avenues of guilt and feelings of not feeling good enough, and these tendencies to overthink and overanalyzing. And it's not healthy, right? There is a trust that we must have in ourselves and putting more faith into ourselves, into the higher power. You know, we cannot control everything, and thinking that we can is crazy. Like, literally, that's what's crazy. That's what's insane. We can only control what we can control, and if we can't control it, we have to have faith that it will work itself out. And with the Pisces and Virgo access, just really is a balance, you know, because Virgo speaks to having this perfection, and in a way, these things are necessary, you know, and Virgo speaks about health, you know, but South Node is karma. South Node is letting things go. And so wow, I'm making this too long, but yes, definitely go check out the video because it is a very powerful nodal shift. And let's get started with the January horoscopes. Aries. Okay, Aries, this month, it's really important for you to slow down. And because the reason why I say this is Mars is your ruling planet, and your ruling planet in the beginning of the month is going to be opposing Pluto. Okay. And they're both very destructive planets. And also, Mars is in retrograde. So it's definitely a time for you to slow down and try to avoid as much drama as you can. Um, so on the third, that's when Mars, or the third and fourth, that's when Mars is going to be, you know, opposing Pluto. And on those days, it feels like, you know, you just want to charge at things, you know, you just want to make quick decisions and be very intense in nature and in behavior. It's really important for you to remember that you need to move with purpose, right? And you're less likely to burn bridges, or you're less likely to, you know, really like offend someone or be or get into a physical altercation if you take time to really you know, move with purpose, like move with a direction this month, right? Don't just do things this month, really be focused on things, you know, like don't just work out with a purpose. Don't just walk in the street with a purpose. Okay, and everything needs to have an intent. Okay, and you need to be extra cautious, like I said, on the third and the fourth when Mars opposes your ruling sign. And um power struggles are definitely possible too, you know, within relationships, within business partnerships, within people that are in your outside world, loved ones, most importantly too. um and you can lose your cool because, as I said, things get heated and you're very hot and you're very bothered. And even if you're around family right now, there can be a tendency to be pretty feisty towards them. So just be careful for this, the beginning of the month, right? Um, Definitely try to avoid focusing on, actually, definitely try to avoid focusing on the anger that you feel and focus more on the things that you can like do inside the home, because Mars in Cancer, you know, you can get some renovation done. You can really use your physical force to move things in its right place at home, you know, to be more of a helping hand at home. um, that will definitely be the type of energy that you want to work with, instead of doing that, instead of you know, having a lot of anger inside of you. Work on your improvement projects or improving yourself. Uh, Instead, especially because Mars is going to square Neptune, and due to this, you definitely feel like internally feisty. You know, it's not even them; it's really you, just internally feisty. And as I said, Mars is in retrograde; it's your ruling planet. It is you. You know, it is you being angry. But as I said, it's you being angry at things that are going inside your home, family members, traditions. Things are not going right. Why is everyone not digging up secrets? Why is everyone not looking for, you know, a better way of life? You know, there is this frustration with the family, you know? And so um, on the 13th, this is a good time to renovate your home as well, because it's going to be the full moon in Cancer, getting rid of things that do not belong in your home. Whether you have to kick someone out of your home too, because, you know, Mars is going to be in your um, fifth house, and then it's going to be in your fourth house as well. So it's like maybe you have to kick someone out of your home, maybe you have to end a relationship or not go back to that ex, or kicking a habit or behavior, as I said. And so um on the 13th though, it will be really good with the full moon to make up on this day, right? Because these are when these emotions are felt, they are, you're feeling more caring and more cautious towards your family and things of that nature, more warm, with the moon in Cancer. And and then we have on the 15th, the sun is going to be opposing Mars. So definitely try to like resolve family issues during this time. This is a good time for that when the sun opposes Mars, it's kind of taking your ego out of it and just going for what needs to be said, not just saying things, just that's a day of caution. So definitely try to resolve anything that needs to be resolved on that day, including your own, issues if you have any issues, and just addressing them. It's definitely best to avoid arguments. As I said, there are a lot of arguments for you, Aries, this month. It's like I said, it's more of this feisty behavior that you have. And I would say spend a lot of time in isolation, because the North Node is going into your 12th house on January 11th. This is a very powerful time for you. You need to be alone. You need to be in isolation doing your self reflection. There is this deep healing that you need from within that irritates you in the year of, I'm actually in the beginning of January. In the beginning of January, as Mars is opposing Pluto, because, like I said, Pluto is a planet that brings up these deep and dark secrets about us that we don't want to address, but we want to talk about, you know, and it's going to bring that up for you, and you have to address it. And then when Rahu is in the 12th house, this is really a time for you to face, you will face a lot of like psychic transformations, a lot of transformations that have to do with healing, going more in depth of what is and what truly means something to you, you know. And there's these buried feelings that come up, as I said, because that's what Pluto likes to bring up, those buried feelings too. And Pluto is going to be in Aquarius in your 11th house as well, and that's your goals and dreams and wishes. That's what you want out of life, and that's kind of um um like the direction that you really want to go in life, and these things are tested when you're tested. In Aries, it's really important for you to spend time alone and deep meditation and deep isolation as well. Any unresolved experiences and subconscious patterns that you have will come to the light. I will say that you are definitely a magical being, Aries, in the year of 2025. But in January, this is the start of you understanding your own magic, but you cannot not understand that if you are not spending time by yourself, if you are not doing your hermit work to become the magician. You know, there is more magic that can be added into your daily routine, Aries, and you should consider that, right? Because, healing, medicine, and deep emotional work is seen within the 12th house. And, film, art, and photography, and anything that has, Pisces in it, singing, dancing, the mystics. This is a very mystical transit for you, the shift. And I really want you to understand that the focus really becomes on yourself, Aries. And so this month of January is one that is definitely of psychic transformations. And that's like that is the key of this month. You will experience psychic transformations, and ones that are profound, that change your behavior. So that's all I have, Aries. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do so. I am trying to grow my YouTube channel, and I will be so happy if you can help me do that. Thank you so much. And hey, nice to meet you too. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey Taurus. Okay, so Taurus, Venus and Pisces is exalted. So this is a really good time for social gatherings. This is a good time to like visit charities, adoption agencies, events, parties, anything that's enjoyable, like going out on dates with loved ones. It's like your social life picks up in the beginning of January, which is beautiful. Mars is going to be going in retro. Well, Mars is already in retrograde, but it's going to be going into the sign of Cancer, and it's going to be this is going to be happening on the 6th. So this becomes um you may travel, right? Travel may become a possibility, right? You may be thinking about moving homes, you may be thinking about where you actually want to live and things of that nature, like what you can do to make these things happen for you. um and then we have Mercury in Capricorn on the 8th, which is super great because this is good for last minute travels. If you want to, go somewhere, if you want to make last minute decisions, this is a great time for that. When Mercury is in Capricorn, it's a bit more serious, right? So on the 8th, this is definitely a good time for that. The full moon on the 13th in Cancer, this is a great time for you to take a class, or it will be a good time for you to, visit loved ones or children in that way. I do think that going to like adoption agencies and charities and things of that nature, not Cancer, Taurus, is so beautiful for you this month. You really can find a lot of beauty in that, really helping the next person, or just being around those in need, knowing that you can help them is a beautiful thing. Not, um, you know, to make you feel like you have to give, but this is more to feel as though, more to feel the appreciation, because it's like you can do it, so you should. It's a deep compassion. We're talking about Venus and Pisces. It's like forever flowing. It is a need. It understands the ants on the street, so it will give to anyone, right? And that's the theme for the month for you, Taurus. Learning how to give, not spend all this money, but giving from the heart, things that are thoughtful. Um, and so your ruler is going to be squaring Jupiter on the 14th and 15th. And so that will be a good time for you to budget, right? And that will be a good time for you to see what can you spend and what you cannot spend if you have overspend in a way. So Taurus, it's definitely time for you to, in the month of January, it will be a good time. My goodness, I'm just tripping over words, but it's a good time for you to take a class that has to do with, finances if you need to. But even if you don't take a class, it's learning more how to save, right? Learning about what needs to be spent, what not needs to be spent. But I feel as though you get a good grip on this, because on the 18th we have Saturn and Venus conjoining, right? And Venus is your ruler, and so this gives you a more serious approach, right? It helps you get more discipline about who deserves your time, your money, and you, right? You are the prize, Taurus. And so on when the sun goes into Aquarius on the 19th, this is a great time for um your status to change at work, right? If you haven't been putting in like that force, like, am I going to get it or not, trying to get a promotion or things of that nature, this would be a good time for you to try to get a promotion, right? Serving any idea with purpose. Make sure if you're trying to get a promotion or you're trying to move up in the world, that it has purpose, Taurus. It is not just what another person wants. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like Gucci and all of that nonsense. It's actually something that's going to help the world, Taurus. You always want to align your goals and life path to this. But as I always said, it's things that are gonna happen, right? And so think about really what you want to put into this world, right? You want something bigger, especially with the sun being in Taurus in your house of, making decisions about your life path, which is the 10th house. Yes, of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you want um, um, recognition. You want to move up in the world and things of that nature, right? It's honestly, like I said, I think it's a beautiful thing, the sun being in Aquarius. It gives you that push and the to ask for the things that you want, right? And I feel as though the next step and the next level is where you truly want to be and where you truly want to go. So you got to take it, Taurus. Like, and if you receive an offer or anything, say yes, especially if it's in alignment, you know? Um, so you, I wanted to talk about the January 11th nodal shift. If you haven't going to watch the video about it, I have a video on the North Node changing from Aries to Pisces and from Libra to Virgo. This is an extremely powerful shift on January 11th, and it affects you tremendously, Taurus. And you want to see how it affects you by going and check out that video. But briefly, I'll tell you, Rahu in the 11th house is one of the greatest placement, right? Right time, right people. It's able to attract the right people, the right time, the right goals that align truly to what really matters to you. And when in the year 2025 or starting in January, you're able to attract people that are truly meant for you, right? Definitely go watch that video because these are unconventional beings. It's really time for you to focus on challenges and opportunities that lead to challenges and challenges that lead to opportunities. Your purpose becomes bigger in the year of 2025, but in January you really make these decisions. You really want to move with purpose and you really make the choices to move with purpose. And in doing so, because you have this shift and and Rahu loves the 11th house actually because it performs well, and it wants to give you what you need, right? And on the 31st, when Venus is conjoining Neptune, this is a good time for you to start thinking about what's useful to you, what's around you. You know what I'm saying? Like remembering your purpose. You need to remember your purpose. You need to remember your ambition and things of the nature, and understanding that money can be attracted through the realms of creation, right, Taurus? And when Venus comes into conjunction to Neptune on the 21st, I mean, on the 31st, you feel this way. You understand that anything around you can be of use. You're not lacking, truly not lacking anything, right? And if there's an issue, you can solve it. There is a level of resilience too. And Venus, as I said, is an attractor. Venus is ruling over your first house. And the north node moving into your 11th house is such a powerful placement. I'm so happy for you, Taurus. This is a great year of connections and long lasting ones too. So that's all I have for you, Taurus. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't liked my video, commented, or subscribed, hi, nice to meet you. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining me, actually. I am trying to grow my YouTube channel, so I will be happy if you can like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone, especially if it resonates or you think they can find it useful. So thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey, Gemini. Okay, so Gemini, January puts your career in the spotlight because Venus is going to be in um, its exaltation sign of Pisces on the 2nd, which it loves, right? And Saturn is also going to be in your 10th house and has pushed you to work hard for these past 2 years. I know that Saturn has, Father Saturn is like that in that way, pushing you, like having you be more determined about what truly matters to you in the career that you want. What do you want to go in life, and remembering that success is liking what you do, liking yourself, and liking how you do it. Success is not based off of really even what you do. You know what I'm saying? So take that into account in the beginning of this year. So having also, with Saturn being in your 10th house, this can be also you taking your father's karma into account as well. You thinking a lot about your father's life, his legacy, what he stood for in the past, 2 years. Well, you've been thinking about these past 2 years, well, about his life, about his legacy, about his authority, his stand in the world, like what truly is, your father's role in this world. And Mars going back into Cancer on the 2nd. I'm sorry, Mars going backward into Cancer in your 2nd house. This is going to be happening on the 6th. And this is a perfect time for taking charge of your money, right? Mars in the 2nd house can be a big spender, and it can spend emotionally, spending just to spend, just to make itself feel good, make itself feel better. It's really important for you to spend just take charge of your money. You know what I'm saying? Spend what on truly what matters to you, not just to make sure it doesn't align to, self-worth, having self-worth and things of that nature, right? Or just indulging in things. So on the 6th, the sun, actually not the sun, Mars and Pluto are going to be in opposition. And this brings up like these sudden expenses and these sudden things to pay for and impulsive actions and wanting to, change your looks. And this can bring up acts, um, thoughts around your mother's health. This can bring up debts, dealing with debts, digestive system problems, going from hot and cold attitudes. It's definitely a good time to like schedule an appointment with a financial advisor, or schedule an appointment with someone who can help, like therapy and things of that nature, or energy healing like Reiki, at the beginning of the month, okay? Because, you know, Mercury, your ruler, it's going to be heading into your 8th house of joint resources on the 8th. And this is going to be you strategizing for the year, Gemini. Or you need to strategize for the year and think about, 3 years in advance, not just 1 year in advance. And this can be a time where you're finding your way towards creating security for yourself and for the next person. The 8th house is shared resources. You're both trying to figure this out. The full moon on the 13th, that's going to be happening in your 2nd house, Gemini. It's brings a attention to your finances, right? The moon being in Cancer, this can be you letting go of things that do not serve you. Like I said, if you're buying things based off of worth, or you're buying things just to indulge, um, it's time for you to take care of those situations, right? It's time for you to pay more attention to those situations. And it's just best to take care of it immediately. But what I can, like, an example that I can give about this would be like an unexpected charge, on your debit card or credit card or something of that nature. Mercury is like online, and Mercury being in the 8th house, this is kind of giving me like credit card fraud, like online or something like that. Just be important. Just pay attention to your finances during this month. um, and so when the sun is going to be entering into the Aquarius on the 19th, and Mercury is going to be following a few days after that, which is your ruler, this is a good time for you to take some time off, right? And I say take some time off to explore your authentic self and your authentic voice. This is a great time to do affirmations all day, sit in meditation, write out your thoughts. It's a time for, self reflection, truly, figuring out what truly value you have in this world, or what you think you have in this world. And so the new moon in Cancer, that's going to be happening in your 2nd house on the 29th. Actually, not the new moon in Cancer, the new moon in Aquarius, on the 29th. This is a good time to um, um, set I can't even get it out. Like, set times to travel, set times to learn certain things, set aside time to take a class, set aside time to build a new belief system. This is really setting aside time to have conversations with your higher self about how your knowledge, and going on journeys of travel. This is how you're going to find it. You actually have to get out there, Gemini. You have to talk to people, and that's what the new moon is bringing. Like, talk to people, network with people. People are different from you. And I feel as though you will be going out, you know, and I feel like, when I say going out, I mean traveling. You are going on this journey, Gemini. On the 30th and the 27th. Honestly, from the 27th, the 23rd, and the 30th. You watch out for arguments, because Mercury is going to be conjoining Pluto and making aspects to. So it's going to be opposing um, um, Mercury in Cancer. Actually, not opposing Mercury in Cancer. Mercury conjunct Pluto is going to be making hard aspects to Gemini, excuse me, to Mars in Cancer. Wow. And that's going to be your second house. So, Gemini, this is a really good time. Like, you have to avoid arguments. When Mercury is conjoining Pluto, and thinking about it, Pluto is in your ninth house, and it's, you know, making hard aspects to Mars in Cancer, right? So you definitely have to watch out for arguments from the 23rd to the 30th. You know, you're speaking as like, I know what I'm talking about. It's almost like you have been through the depths of valley, right? The death valley. Let's just say that, you've been through a lot, and you know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about, but it may come off as um like a Nodal, right? You're make them off as too intense for others. And Pluto is that planet of future. Like, people can't really see what you can see right now, Gemini. So it's really important for you to not argue with them about that, because they don't even know. And if they don't know, you let them know in ways that is, how to let them know. You know how to speak. You know how to use words. And so on January 11th, we have the North Node in Pisces, or North Node that's in Aries going into Pisces, and the South Node that's in Libra going into Virgo. And this is going to be happening in your 10th house. North Node in your 10th house, Gemini. This is wow, right? This is wow, right? This is Rahu in a position of power. But this can also be greed. This can be, let's just say that you're becoming something powerful. But as I said, there is this position of like, remember everything that I had to go through, and everyone else called me stupid, and everyone else, said those things about me and in childhood. It's almost like these childhood experiences, and everyone that has bullied you and all of those things, like, come into account when you become the boss. It's almost like, I'm the boss, I can trample over them now. It's so important to not do that, because when Rahu is in this house, you feel like that, Gemini. You literally feel like that. And it's important to always remain the voice of those that were bullied, right? Of those that had, um, any type of entanglement or any type of speech problem or anything, you know what I'm saying, that you have to deal with, Gemini. It's so important for you to, make this um, your your um your insight, because this is going to cause radical change, and you need to make this your vision. Move with purpose, Gemini. Okay. And so that's all I have for you, Gemini. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. If you haven't gone to watch the video on the North Node shift, you definitely should go watch that video. I go more in depth over your position. And because, Gemini, this is your 10th house of success, remembering that success is something that is, you're doing what you like to do. And success is when you like yourself. And success is when you like how you're doing whatever you're doing. And it's not even about what you're doing. So, keeping that in mind, Gemini, for January and for the year ahead, you are going to be put in powerful positions. And it's important for you to understand that with power comes great responsibility. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't liked my video, please share it with the next person. If you're new here, hi, I'm so happy to meet you. And I hope you stay around. So definitely subscribe if you resonated with this video, and share it if you think it might help someone else. So I'll see you guys. Bye. Hey, Cancer. So, Cancer, this month is about your needs and other people's needs. The sun is going to be in your seventh house, of Capricorn. And this is going to be, well, the seventh house is how you interact with others, right? It's your love partnerships, your loves. And the sun in Capricorn, brings a real focus to having to focus on the partner, right? And it's about finding that balance at the beginning of the month between you and your partner, or even while the sun is in Capricorn for the next 4 weeks, just finding that balance. And, is it fair? Is it not? And you starting to speak up more about it. And I feel as though you might be able to speak up a little bit more, because Mars is going to be going into your sign on the 6th, right? And so it's important to pay attention to that, to like observe Is it balanced or is it not? Remember that relationships are not always balanced, but are you getting more, than you're like, are you getting back what you're giving, or even a little bit of that? And so, as I said on the 6th, you are asking for the thing that you want, or you have this drive, you have this push to do so. With Mars being in your sign, you can now speak about your emotions. But remember, there's nothing wrong with stating your needs, and there's nothing wrong with asserting yourself. However, try to be as emotionally balanced as you can. I would say that, consider the other person's feelings, yes, but always consider your own feelings, Cancer. And that's the thing, Cancer is a very nurturing, wanting to help sign. That it forgets that, and that comes into focus in the beginning of the month, okay? And then when Mercury moves into Capricorn on the 8th, this is about you finding the right words to express yourself, authentically. Mercury in Capricorn, in my opinion, is very cold, straight to the point. So it's like you're able to just talk straight to the point, getting to the point, not being in this bitterness, but also not feeling restless, right? Because Mars in Cancer can feel restless, right? But Mercury going into Capricorn on the 8th definitely gives you, like, it gives you a pool of words to find, right? There is, because Capricorn is the boss, is the CEO, right? And knows what it's talking about, knows what it's doing, and knows what rooms to be in. And so the full moon in your sign on the 13th is very significant. This is a really significant because the moon is going to be opposing Mercury on the 13th. Still assert yourself, because on the 13th, Mars is going to be, the moon is going to be conjunct Mars too. And this is, you need to be careful that your feelings are not getting in the way. On the 14th, you really have to stand in your power, because we have the sun going into Capricorn, sun going into Aquarius on the 19th. It's very important for you to stand in your power and speak your truth, and not let your emotions get in the way of business. Okay. And on the 14th, well, actually, if you have struggled to assert yourself on the 14th, you're going to be able to do so. Your attention really turns to your financial section when the sun goes into Aquarius. Okay. Because it's going to be in Aquarius on the 19th, and then Mercury is going to move into Aquarius on the 27th. And it's going to be going into your house of joint resources and finances and sexual intimacies and going in deep. And so it's really important, Cancer, that you know what you're talking about when it comes to your finances. So go speak to people that can help you. You know what I'm saying? A loan agency, a realtor, whatever type of decision that you're trying to make, definitely go and talk to a professional about it. Like, someone who can advise you better. The new moon on the 29th, it brings because the new moon is going to be in Aquarius, it brings a like opportunity to get out of any situation that you're in. So as I said, if you find a financial advisor, you're able to get out of that situation because they can help you. This is a positive thing, right? It's like taking out a loan, but being able to pay the loan back, and you have, if you, like I said, if you take out a loan, there can be tax relief. There can be like these surprise windfalls, because the new moon being in the 8th house is new opportunities to make anything happen. But also, after you try to find a way to improve your finances, you actually have to assert yourself on the 13th. You know what I'm saying? Like, search yourself. There's an event and experience, but you will need to exert yourself, Cancer, and ask for the thing that you want. And don't say, oh, I can't get that house because my credit is bad. No, that's not the case. There's thousands and millions of places to be, right? And you understand this because you're in the 4th house. You're ruled by the 4th house of Cancer. there's many places to live. So there's always, a closed mouth doesn't get fat, Cancer. There's always a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Okay. And then also, um, as January is coming to a close, there's going to be you feeling like you're secure, you're secure with love, you're secure with money, it's almost like everything is working accordingly. Um, Now at the end of the month, starting off the month was a bit rocky. Like, what do I want? How do I say this? Ending, you're feeling a little bit more stronger, a little bit more, assured about where the direction that you're going. On the January 11th, Rahu is going to be in your ninth house of higher career, higher self, and your higher learning. This is a conversation with yourself. And Cancer, this is a beautiful placement because ninth house is a house of Dharma. And, the North Node going into that is like, it's magnificent. It is the phoenix becoming, the phoenix has rise, empower its higher self. Um, this is a spiritual transformation. It definitely pushes you towards your dreams. So check out the video that I made on the North Node shift, the North Node switching from Aries to Pisces, and the South Node shifting from Libra to Virgo. Definitely check out that video, North Node on the nodal shifts, because I go more in depth on that video about what this means for your sign in Cancer. As I said, because this is house of Dharma, this is powerful, and people that push you to the positions that you want to be in. These are meaning the right people at the right time. It's like, this is your dharma. Or like, people are supposed to help you in this life and show you a higher way. So if you ever get a chance to travel, Cancer, say yes. Don't say, how am I going to get there? How am I, like, this in the year 2025, starting in January, um as a nodal shift change, as I said, is so powerful. Go check out that video. You're going to want to check out that video. You just emerge into something that you have never been before, Cancer, and it's a beautiful thing to witness. So that's all I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. If you haven't going to like my actually, if you haven't gone to see the other video, definitely do that. But if you haven't liked this video or subscribed and you're new here, hey, I'm so happy to meet you. And I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. So if you can help me do that, that would be amazing, especially if this video resonated with you and you can send it to someone else and it can be useful for them. I would love that, and thank you forever. And I will love you forever. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, Cancer. Hey Leo, so your ruling planet, which is the sun, is going to be in your sixth house of Capricorn. And so this is going to bring a focus to your work, especially in the beginning of January. You're going to be focusing on your leadership position, how you can get into a better position if you're looking for, focusing on your mental health so that you can figure out what is your natural role. And so definitely you're going to experience um, a window of gratitude, when it comes to your workplace, when it comes to your health. There is a victory. But remember that Mars is going to be in retrograde, or is in retrograde, in your sign in the beginning of the month. And that really puts an effect on your physical vessel, your vitality. So, this can be a time to where you are, playing sports. You can win a game or something like that. But, as Mars in retrograde, just be careful. But there is a victory, um, with the sun being in your sixth house as well, right? And so when it comes to your love life, because Venus is in Pisces on the second, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. It loves Pisces, and this is going to help you deepen your connection when it comes to merging with your partners. Um, you know, um, Finances. When it comes to being more intimate with your partner. When it comes to spending more quality time with the partner. These things come into focus, and you're more effective in that way. Mars is giving you a lot of powers, within your vitality, within your physical vessel, urging you to do something, and to step into your power. But remember, it's more effective to work behind the scenes, because on the 6th, Mars is going to be moving into Cancer. And this is going to be in your 12th house, right? So that's behind the scenes. The 12th house is what's hidden to us. And Mars being in this house, this is best that you work on your creativity, spending time alone, spending a lot of time alone, especially if you're frustrated and you feel angered by something. It's a perfect time to, you know, um, do a lot of Piscean things because you're talking about the 12th house, which is like poetry, um, dreaming, learning. There's so many avenues to go in. It's the base of entertainment, but things do like poetry and art and writing, okay? And get into film and watch a movie if you need to, Leo, especially a romantic one to get you back into, feeling that love. Venus in Pisces is actually going to be beautiful for you, a beautiful transit, okay? And then on the um, yeah, so on the 13th, okay, so Cancer is going to it's going to be a Cancer full moon on the 13th, which is going to be in your 12th house. And so that's definitely a time for you to step back and take some time to yourself, It's time to restore your balance and figure out what truly matters to you, as I said. And these are expressed through ways of creativity because, your mind is clear, you are centered, and you're active in your identity, your divinity, right? Because you're creating from a space that is not just that's from the ethers. This is something that you internally feel and you put out on, paper. So it's really important to do that, this month. Okay, take some time for you, especially. And so the sun entering into Aquarius on the 19th. This is going to be in your seventh house, and remember, Pluto is also there as well. And there is at the beginning of the month, there is going to be an opposition to Mars and Pluto. And, it's going to be in your sign. It's going to be in your first house and seventh house. And any type of opposition in the first and seventh house are huge. These are trying to balance yourself out with other people and other people's relationships. Almost like, Leo almost feels as though their relationship is always at odds with who they are or what they truly want in life or the direction that they need to go in life. And so there's this push and pull and trying to figure out what's really important, getting down to the bottom of it. And sometimes you have to go to the depths of our relationship to understand what truly, what value it truly holds. So there's like this push and pull, relationships with this axis of the um, Mars and Pluto. But remember, if you're not in a relationship, this is a push or pull with you. You're trying to do something. You're trying to make decisions, but you feel like your voice is not good enough. Like your confidence is questioned and things of that nature. And so, like I said, it's just so important to focus on yourself and focus on what you can truly have and the other people in your life that truly matters to you. Okay, spending time with them, especially with the full moon in Cancer. And I believe that this month, it's definitely a time where you can form deeper bonds, right? But it's also important to set up those accurate boundaries, because Venus and Mars are going to be conjuncting in Saturn, and this is going to be happening in Pisces, right? And so, whenever we have this conjunction, this is definitely a time to set boundaries. It's time to understand that deeper bonds must be felt. Venus conjunct Saturn is actually a great aspect because it really gives us that seriousness when it comes to our self-worth, right? And later on in the month there is this serious, there's a seriousness about you and your direction of life, Leo. And so this can be the time to set those accurate boundaries, but also to build those deeper bonds because, as I said, Venus in Pisces is loving, but even the sun going into Aquarius, that's the house of business partnerships that can open up a lot of avenues for you. And it's important to, take these opportunities as they come. But remember that Pluto is in your seventh house, will be until 2044. And, that's activating a very transformative relationship or a very transformative journey, in relationships. And so you just want to keep a mind out for that and always and set boundaries and be true to who you are, and the things that you want. Be honest about them, Leo. Okay, and then Mars is going to be, Mercury actually is going to be moving into Aquarius on the 27th. And so this is going to ensure that, you know, you keep a cool head, like you use common sense and common ground when it comes to making decisions or when it comes to conversations, most importantly. You know, Mercury is talking to other people, and Aquarius is a sign of deep intellect. It's very, and it's very intelligent side, very advanced, and it being Mercury, this is someone who's speaking way before their time, and it's important to not be in those difficult conversations with those people because sometimes, as I said, we think that we're going somewhere in a conversation because, as I said, we're talking about humanitarian issues. You would think lots of people want to talk about them, but sometimes they don't because people feel, oh my gosh, what am I going to do about it? Helpless and not even trying. And Leo will try, right, this month, especially to see like what's wrong and what can be changed in form in some way, when it comes to the dynamic of like groups together, and so there's going to be actually a new moon in Aquarius as well on the 29th. And so that's pretty great, right? This is a great day to date if you are not dating, but these times will just be dating, like it's literally just dating. For fun and things of the nature, because Mars is still going to be in your sign in retrograde. So, if you want to go on a date, that is absolutely fine. But as far as, long term, it all depends on your chart. But as far as long term, dating and thriving, I would honestly say that to the second half of the year, Leo. Okay, and so um, let's see. And so on the 13th, the sun, which is your ruler, is going to be trining Jupiter, and this is great. This means that your fortune increases, because the Jupiter is our luck, right? And but the sun is who we are, is our soul's energy, is our ego, right? So this could be a good day to, play the lottery. It could be a good day to take your chance on something, right? And I would suggest playing the lottery, or playing something that like you can win money at in some type of way. I wouldn't say go crazy, like go big. It all depends on the aspects of your chart, but as I said, on the 30th, the sun, your ruler, is going to be trining Jupiter, and this is going to be a great day for you to get lucky in some type of way. So take a chance in some type of way. Now, it doesn't have to be drastic because we know that that's Jupiter, but it does have to be taking a chance towards something that is bigger than bigger than life, meaning that it can get you further than where you are right now. Yes, any opportunity that arises, Leo, if it is aligned to your vision, definitely take it and do not be fearful, and thinking that you don't deserve it, because you do. Okay. And so that's all I have for you, Leo. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel or liked my video or engaged with it and you find it useful, please do so. I would love you forever, and share it with someone if you think that they may find it useful as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys. Bye. Virgo. Okay, Virgo. So, hey, Virgo. So, this month is all about creativity. We have Venus in your sign, or well, in your seventh house. Venus is exalted in Pisces, right? Venus loves Pisces, and there is this artistic nature that comes out in you when it comes to expressing yourself in relationships to the next partner, to business partnerships. It's like you have these abundance amount of ideas, you can really make a lot of improvement, I believe. Getting rid of some habits too with Venus in Pisces, because Venus loves to be in Pisces as well, right? And then also, Venus is going to be sextiling the sun in Capricorn, which is a great aspect, right? Because this can feel as though you finally settled matters of the heart, right? There's this settling nature. I won't say cold, but this numbness that, um, well, I like to say compassion, but also when you're kind of over the pain, right? And you just feel this numbness, you know? this is the angle to the sun, because you're realizing that you're meant for more, you're meant for better. um and so this can be well, let's just go back. Mars in the beginning of the month is going to be in Leo, and it's also going to be returning to Cancer on the 6th. But this can be a really good time to um, play some sports, right? Achieve some goals, especially when it comes to creative activities. um Especially it's spending time with friends too, because I feel like your friends can really help you achieve a lot in this month, or they can have the answers to the things that you need. There can be you could be wanting to relocate your home with Mars and Cancer, and there can be you needing some advice when it comes to your romantic decisions. Thinking about um you know what needs to be done inside of your home, or thinking about the the people that's inside of your home, like, can they offer you advice, are they nice to talk to, and getting some advice from those about your romantic life and about making adjustments to your home is beneficial for you, and it's best to do this with people that are inside of the home. I think that they will have the things that you need, if you're going to ask them. Okay. um the full moon on the 13th is going to be great, because this is going to be you wanting to spend time with your friends, right? And when the sun goes into the 12th house, or when the sun goes into Aquarius and on the 19th, this is a time for you to actually, when the sun goes into Aquarius on the 27th, Mercury is actually going to go into Aquarius as well. And so with them both being there, this is definitely like intense, because the sun in Aquarius is already a very individualized person. They believe that they are not like the next, like the next people, right? And I really think that Mercury is like demanding something. It's demanding information, conversation, and both of those things. The sun going into Aquarius, I just feel as though there's this intensity, and there can be some pressure to make decisions as well, or to have information that you don't have. And there can be, just like this pressure, but I believe that you can handle it well, because as I said, the sun in Aquarius understands its individual nature, and it knows it's not like anyone else, right? And so the new moon that arrives on the 29th, um, that's going to be in Aquarius as well. And it's going to be conjunct Mercury and um, Pluto as well. This is a great time for promotion. Raise, ask for the stuff that you want, be ready to claim it. Definitely show up on time, right? Virgo. And what I mean by show up on time is everything is divinely timed at the right moment, right? In our lives. But in the month of January, it because Venus is in your sister sign, you're attracting these lovely connections and these deep connections, and you want to make sure that you're setting boundaries, of course, right? And you want to make sure that if you deserve something, that you're willing to go after it. This is very important, but you also want to make sure that you're willing to take advice for the month of January. January, the nodes are going to be shifting on January 11th. If you haven't gone to watch my video on the nodal shift, the South Node is going to be in your sign, Virgo. This is huge. The South Node is going to be forcing you to go on your spiritual journey, and I mean one that is like goes beyond, underneath the surface. And we've experienced a lot of transformations, right? But it's important for you to go watch that video about the nodal shift, because it's really important for your sign. Um, and so that's all I have for you, Virgo. And this is going to be happening on January 11th. And remember, at the beginning of January, Mars is going to be in opposition to Pluto, right? And um, um, Pluto is in Aquarius. So as I said, there's this confliction with what truly matters, right? For what you have known, and can you really do it? And are you going to put yourself out there? There is this lack of discipline, but knowing that something needs to be done. Okay, something has to be done, right, Virgo? And so that's all I have, and I hope that was helpful. If you can like, comment, and subscribe to my video, especially if you find it useful. If you're new to my channel, hey, I'm so happy to meet you. I hope that you stay around with us and we talk all things astrology and all things evolution. So if this video resonated with you, can you please share it with someone that you think they may find it useful? And that will help me so much. And I will love you forever. Thank you so much. So I'll see you guys. Bye, Virgo. Hey, Libra. Okay, so Libra, this month is going to be extremely productive for you. Okay, Pisces in Venus is exalted. It actually loves us. There's this love and deep compassion for the work that you do. You know what I'm saying? For the dream, right? For the dream work that you do, for the collaboration that you do with others. There's this compassion and loving space, which is great for you because this is, your work zone where things matter, right? What you do matters. You remember, Libra, success is not what you do. Success is what you like to do, how you do it, and liking how you do it. It's just about liking yourself. Honestly, that is true success, right? And so, on the in the beginning of the month, we have the Mars and Pluto opposition. And so there's power struggles, right? There's this understanding that our own individual nature, we have to be confident in that, right? That's the theme of the Mars in Pluto opposition, because it's like, if you're not confident in your own idea and your own creativity, who will be? You are a one-man show. And what I mean by this is, you are a creator, right? And the only answers that you can really get is no, yes, and that looks nice. You know what I'm saying? So it's having that backbone, really, and understanding that I am seeing into the future, right? And so that's happening at the beginning of the month, and that kind of keeps you busy. Okay. And so when Mars goes back in Cancer on the 6th, this puts you into a leadership position where you're able to like motivate the people around you, right? You're able to tell them, hey, you're doing a good job, give them words of encouragement, which is beautiful, which is a beautiful thing to do. Okay. And then when the sun in Mercury conjunct on the 8th, there is a level of responsibility that shows up here that you feel, and that requires you to have to balance it out. With the full moon on the 13th, there can be recognition for your achievement. So because, like I said, you deserve it. So definitely be ready to claim anything that is yours, Libra. Make sure that it is in alignment with what is your dream work. Okay. And then the full moon brings up topics of like romance, right? It brings up topics of um, intimacy and home life, and the love for the family, um, and that's a beautiful thing. And then we have the sun in Aquarius on the 19th, and then Mercury is going to be coming in conjoining on the 27th. And that's a great time to spend time with loved ones, right? Or um, spend time cozying up, reading a book, doing things that take care of yourself creatively, but that are, logically, um, um, logically in instilled. Like, these things have to be logical. And there is just this sense of, with the sun and Mercury conjoining in Aquarius, there is a sense of figuring out like who you are as a person, like what is your identity and what do you have to offer. Like I said, this is the month where you really think about that dream work, and it really gets you going. And Venus is your ruler, right? Venus is going to be in um Pisces, as I said, and Venus loves Pisces. So you can really use this energy to make yourself look amazing, talk to the right people, understanding that love and compassion is the way to go, Libra, and is the way to get people to open up to you. You have to be vulnerable this month, not, throwing a pity party, but being vulnerable in a space that it shows the beauty of you. And It's a beautiful thing, as I keep saying, for this month. It feels very busy, but it's like harmonious. It's like everything was meant for the right reason, Libra. Okay. And so there can, on the 29th, we have the new moon in Aquarius as well. And so this would be the perfect time if you're not dating someone, you spent that time of reflection to get out there and date someone, right? Because like on the 19th, I just feel like there's a love connection of some type. The 19th or around the 19th, there is this love connection or this love interest. It can be in a person, place, or thing. It can even be in a friend because, Aquarius is groups of people, right? And so, you could be wanting to go dating, and this would be online dating because we're talking about Aquarius. So, definitely look if you'd like to look, Libra, okay? Because I think that you can, like I said, it's just this charm that you have about you because Venus is exalted in Pisces and is going to be in there for a little bit, of the month. And that just makes you have this thrill about you. You look very charming. You're able to talk from a space of deep compassion, which is a beautiful thing. Like like to keep saying, Libra. So this is a great month for you. Try to stay as productive as possible, but also try to take the lead too. Okay, Libra. So that's all I have for the month of January. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't liked my video or if you haven't subscribed yet and it resonates with you, please think about doing so. And if you're new here, hey, nice to meet you. I'm so happy that you're here. I do horoscopes every single month, so think about returning and subscribing, and especially if you found it useful, share it with those that can find it useful as well. Thank you so much. I would love you forever. So bye. See ya. Scorpio. Hey, Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio, January is the perfect month to take a vacation, to go on some type of trip, okay? The sun is going to be in your house of short trips, which is your third house. It's going to be in your house of networking. It's going to be in your house of taking a class. It's going to be in your house where you use a vehicle to get to the places that you want, which is short distance travel, but that can teach you a lot. And it's really favorable for quick getaways too. Like if let's say you live in California, you quickly want to go to the beach, a far away beach, but a nicer beach. This would be a great time to do that. You can find a lot of like a bliss in that and clearing of the mind. It's definitely perfect. It's going to basically restore you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to restore your spirits, making you feel whole again, Scorpio, because nature does that for us, right? Or even getting away from nonsense does that for us for a while. Okay, and then your ruler Mars, Mars is in retrograde. Your traditional ruler Mars is in retrograde. Pluto just moved to Aquarius. Pluto is in um, um, Pluto is in Aquarius, Mars is in Leo at the beginning of the month, and there's going to be an opposition. And this opposition, as I said, it's get up and go to these places that you need to go, Scorpio, because this is a battle between your confidence and what in your image in the world and the way that you express it. Like there's an opposition in that, almost feeling as though um you almost feeling as though you're stifled in some way, because with Pluto is your ruler, you understand Pluto's destructive nature and it's pushed to try to get you to change and transform, and there's a transformation that must be had, you know and it really has to do with your lack of confidence, and a confidence in things that you deserve and the things that can help you, or even in your ideas or even in your creativity. But in the beginning of the month, as I said, there is just this need to get these things out. You must go spend some time in nature because that can bring you back to you understanding this, right? And so on the 6th, we have Mars going into Cancer now, right? So this brings the focus to your home life. Okay, so there can be you wanting to take your family on a vacation. You know what I'm saying? Now this is the perfect time to be spontaneous. To go on those adventures, and there are these adventures of creativity, and I mean like singing, dancing, poetry. Like I said, going to the beach, doing things that are fun, going to a concert, going to a sporting event, doing things, like I said, most importantly, which would be nature, that can help you expand your mind, not fill your mind with clutter. There must be some level of silence, doing, on the 6th when Mars goes into Cancer. Okay. And then on the full moon, on the 13th is a great time for long distance travel. So Scorpio, when the sun is going into, the sun, well, actually the full moon is going to be in Cancer, and that's going to be, like I said, a great time for a long distance travel. But then the sun is going to enter into Aquarius on the 19th, and so this gives you a feeling, it's like, do I really want to go so fast? Like, where do I actually want to go? And it's like you're just suddenly in this mood. I want to stay home. You know what I'm saying? I could be creative at home. I could do this at home. But I do feel as though it's so important for you to get in the car and go somewhere, like I said, a beach, somewhere that's definitely hot, or somewhere where you can see, nature and scenery, or like a concert. You know what I'm saying? Where they're singing, um, and it's helping you feel better about yourself, you know? And so, yeah, there's that on the 19th. And then on the 27th, Mercury and the sun are going to be in conjunction, and this is going to be making it a great time for, these conversations with people, especially like lively conversations of like-minded, individuals, people just coming together and it being a social, group, you know. And so on the 29th, when there's a new moon in Aquarius, this gives a focus on maybe, well, the new moon Aquarius is very friendly, right? It's very wanting to make friends. So this will be a good time to have a friend over, talk to a friend, give a friend advice, have a friend give you advice. This would be a great time for that. And, you know, um, there can also be, like, there's at the end of the month, there is this time of celebration, right, Scorpio? Because, like I said, Pluto just shifts signs, and that's your ruler. Mars in retrograde, and there is this I won't say a like not fun, like a not fun time. But for the month of January, there's definitely a time for you to spend time with others. So I would think about like having people come over to you, having, some type of gathering, but just getting in touch with people, and definitely going to travel somewhere, Scorpio, is the focus for this month. And so that's all that I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And if you found this video useful and you're new here, hi. Even if you have been with me, hey, I am so happy that you're here. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, so if you can engage with this video, especially if you found it like useful and resonating, and it resonates with you, and maybe it can help someone else. So send it to someone else, share it, and that will be beautiful, right? I love that and appreciate that so much. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Scorpio. Hey, Sagittarius. Okay, so Sagittarius, let's just say going into the year of January 2025, Jupiter, your ruler, is in retrograde. This is giving you a change of perspective. And even if it doesn't change, it evolves to something better that suits your higher self. And so just think about that going into this year of 2025. And we also have Mars and Pluto opposition. And so that takes a step back. That helps us, takes a step back. And because Aquarius is your third house, you're thinking about your thought forms, your mind, the things that are around you. These are, as Pluto, it takes 20 years to go through a transit. 2024, it'll move signs. But, as Pluto's in the 12th house, Pluto's in the third house, it's going to be rearranging the people that you are in contact with, your community based people. If you want to be seen online, this is a beautiful time for that, Sagittarius, right? It's transformative time for that. But as I said, there's an opposition. So it's thinking about what you truly want. Like, what is your true message? And that's what Jupiter is, it's working its way in there too, to get you to look at what truly matters. You know what I'm saying? And it's all up to you, Sagittarius. So just take that into account. Um, when it comes to, well, actually, happy solar return, Sagittarius. I know I said it next month, but for my late Sagittarius, is happy solar return. This is a great month, right? And so, yeah. Let me go back to the beginning of the month. And so, on the beginning of the month, okay, the sun is going to be in your second house of Capricorn. Oh, actually, not the beginning of the month, the later end of the month. The sun is going to move into actually the beginning of the month. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Uh, the sun is going to be in your second house in Capricorn. So, this brings a focus to your finances. And, in my opinion, saving your finances, watching your finances, seeing what you're spending money on, because Leo is ruling over, well, the sun likes to spend, and it's going to be in your second house, and the sun is a spender. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it needs to get the things that it want. But the sun in Capricorn actually spends with a purpose. But for the beginning of the month, Mars and Pluto opposition, be very careful, when it comes to this, when it comes to spending. And there can be, well, with Venus in Pisces happening on the second, there's this light to be creative. There's this time to express yourself authentically, even your home, how can you decorate your home or decorate different projects, right? And I also think that with Venus in Pisces, this can be an avenue for attracting money as well, through your creativity. And so when Mars is going to go back into Cancer on the 6th, this is a time to slow down and, think about your spending. As I said, the sun in the second, it's a bit spendy in my opinion, right? Especially when it's trying to spend for the family. Even sun in Capricorn, they will buy things for their family. Like, these are people that they strive to take care of their family, right? And so that spending needs to be under control. And sticking to a budget for the beginning of the month, or starting off to the beginning of the month, or ending the month would be great, right? Because you could spend at the beginning of the month, Mars being in Leo, but then you're like, okay, maybe I'm spending too much. Start checking your numbers, looking for you know what I'm saying, just looking for that avenue where you're like, okay, I really don't have to buy this. And it's really important for you to do that this time, you know and if you want to decorate your home, it'll be a good time for that as well. And the full moon that is on the 13th in Cancer, this is where you want to definitely cut back on your spending. Be extra careful with your money on the 14th, because that's when Venus is going to square with Jupiter, and they're both giving planets. Venus is a giving planet where she can attract money. Jupiter is a planet of luck where you can win monies. And so with them squaring, it's like um there is a there is like, in my opinion, there's a way to, like, you want to show off, you know what I'm saying, like you want to show off, and it's really important for you to budget, because the Jupiter is a grand spender, and being able to attract money is powerful. It's like, if I can attract this, I can buy it, and they're both very giving in that sense, and so when the sun is going into Aquarius on the 19th, this will be a great time to go on a short journey, and to go somewhere where you can learn something, where you can be of use, where you can craft a new skill. It's important. Even to hone on the new skills that you have, Sagittarius, okay? And then when Mercury conjuncts the sun on the 27th, it's definitely um like, this day is definitely going to be, or a time where you're like, I can't ignore the fact that I need to go out and explore something. Because, as I said, there's going to be a nodal shift in January on the 11th. If you haven't gone to watch my video on Pisces nodal shift and the South nodal shift, you should definitely go do so. I go in depth in that video. And in the beginning of the month, there is this, well, on the 11th and after, when the North Node goes into your sign, there is this impossible, like, there's no way that you can ignore there's no way you can ignore the signs, Sagittarius. Let's just say that, right? It's like, you cannot ignore what you deserve anymore, you know and you have to take a trip somewhere. With the new moon in Aquarius, you have to go somewhere, you know, on the 29th. But even going on, like I said, in the beginning of the month, there's just, or on the 11th, there's just a shift where you're like, life is bigger than what it is. And like I said, Jupiter being your sign, you already know this, but Jupiter being in retrograde, you're starting to understand that life through creativity, you know what I'm saying, through expressing yourself through creativity, can actually be very thrilling and adventurous. And with the new moon on the 27th, there is a um like this can be a good time to do work in your house. You know, with Mars and Cancer, is always a perfect time to do housework, you know, clean up around your home and set up a altar around your homes. Sagittarius will be great, especially, you know, when Jupiter comes out of retrograde. Just thinking, being more grateful to your ancestors for everything that they have done for you, Sagittarius, and finding some time to play too, and sometimes to mingle with people, you know, get out and be around others. I wouldn't say just be around anyone. You know, it has to be a specific crowd that is wanting to do better, that is wanting to do the self work. That is the group that is for you, Sagittarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't liked, shared, or commented on this video, please do so, or think about doing so, especially if it resonates with you. You can send it to someone that you think might find it useful. I would love you forever. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye. Hey, Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn, going into the month, we have the Mars Pluto opposition, right? And so this gives us really a time. When I think about Pluto and Aquarius and I think about Mars and Leo, I think about someone who has a battle between the heart and the head, you know? Like, can I really do it? Expressing yourself through creativity is scary enough, but presenting it to the world is something that's scary for individuals. And there's this opposing opposition of fear of like, it's, if I do it, is it, you know, is it going to be received well, you know? And so going on and continuing the month when the sun is going to be in your sign, the sun is going to be in your first house, Capricorn, to continue on the month, the sun is going to be in your sign. I love this for your vitality and your confidence. You know, it almost makes you unstoppable, right? And so while everyone else is having the problem of Mars and Pluto, you kind of have this backbone to you of resilience, you know, of, yeah, you know, I may lack in some type of way of confidence. However, I still have to show up for the world, right? You have to show up for the people that need you and then need your message. And so this the sun in your sign it's great because it gets you to think about your goals and how you can reach them and how you can achieve them. We all know that Capricorn is the achiever. Capricorn is a sign of success, and success is liking yourself, Capricorn. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. That is the true meaning of success. Okay, and understanding that um because Mars is going to be in your seventh house and you're going to have a full moon on the 13th in Cancer in your seventh house, this is a challenging time in relationships. You know, something could just suddenly change on the 6th, you know, when Mars goes into Cancer, or something can change, you know, on the 13th of the full moon when, you know, the moon is in your seventh house. So, you know, it's about, are we going to work on it, or are we going to, you know, part ways? I do think that because, you know, Mercury is going to be in your sign as well on the 8th, it's like you finding the right words to let go of the relationship or to continue the relationship, as you know, as a need to be, Capricorn. But this decision is usually made you know, after the full moon, and you're definitely for relief after this. So we're going to have the Venus and Saturn conjunction in Pisces on the 18th, and this is going to bring like confirmation that she made the right move, because as I said, your third house, you know, Saturn being in there, Venus being in there, Neptune being in there, it's really guiding you to explore depth, like the depth of the mind, you know, how we can really learn where our mental formats go. And you know, this gave you the opportunity to learn so much, Capricorn, right? And to hone into your skills and things of nature. Now it is time to hone into your skills, and ones that are favorable, ones that you actually enjoy and like, not just for the gains, Capricorn. It really has to be of enjoyment, right? And on the 6th, I just feel as though there is this testing on the patience because of the moon in Capricorn, of the moon in Cancer in your 12th house. There's this you know, type of drama, and it can really like affect your mood, in that way. And so, as I said, on the 8th, Mercury moving into your sign, I just feel like Mercury in your sign is like boss up or shut up type of thing, right? And you just want to be mindful because, as I said, there's a lot going on in your relationship or even at home, right? And you want to be mindful of that we're not cold, you're not being cold and bitter towards them, Capricorn. And on the 18th, as I said, Venus and Saturn conjunction. This is beautiful in the house of the third because you will be like, there's confirmation from the universe that your mental formulas are correct, right? There's information that comes to you in a thought form, right? And so when the sun is in your first house, or the sun goes into the second house on the 19th, the sun in your house on the first and the sun in your house on the 19th, the second house in Aquarius, these are beautiful aspects when it comes to making business plans and long-lasting partnerships, right? Or increasing money in some type of way, financial gain. Um, so Mercury is actually going to be entering into your second house as well. So that is speaking and saying the right things when it comes to making money. But as I said, you want to do what truly means something to you and boss up in those ways, and not boss up in ways that just can increase your money flow. And whatever you focus on grows, Capricorn, right? And Pluto moving out of your sign gives you the green light to be and do whatever you want to do with yourself, whatever you want to do with your life. And not that you couldn't do it when Pluto was there, but it's more so now that I'm not afraid anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, being afraid is just ridiculous. Being afraid is just standing still. I should be more afraid of standing still than moving slow. Yes, that is the message of January. And on the 29th of the new moon in Aquarius, this is news about whatever you put in, because it's a second house. Second house is resources. You hear back from the things that you have ventured out to learn. You could hear back from someone, right? And this can be tied to your self-worth as well, but these are mainly tied to your assets. You hear back something about your assets, which is positive, and it gives you this new start to create a new idea, maybe possibly in the long run you get a raise, you know what I'm saying, but there's this building of it, this idea, but it's your idea, Capricorn, and that's what you need to stick with, which is so beautiful. And it's almost like, you know, everything that happens in the month of January, it's literally divinely timed, which is beautiful. Remain compassionate, Capricorn, because I feel as though, on the 30th of the month, when we have Uranus going direct in Capricorn, I'm in Taurus, right? Which is another earth sign. There is this, blending of energies, working together that really gets you to, like, that really brings culmination to the fruit of your labor. You, with the things that you put in, do not fear that you will not get them back, Capricorn. That is the fear mentality. You will get back what you put in, and it's important, to put in the right, as I said, the right type of ideas, the ones that truly matter, not just ones that are just, for income. Because in the long run, because you're talking about Saturn too, Saturn in Venus, conjuncting, this is long run. This is you long, like longevity, long skills in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Things that actually teach you something, a trip that actually changes your life and your mind and your mental formula. So that's all I have for you. Um, Capricorn, I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't liked my video or subscribed and it resonates with you, please do. Hey, it's so nice to meet you, and I'm so happy that you're here. And if you're new here, I hope that you think about joining us back. I do horoscopes each month, and I would be happy, for you to come and and join us and get your horoscope. So if it resonates with you, please go, share it. You know what I'm saying? Share it with someone else that you think can, I can't even get this out. Well, they can find it useful as well, right? So that can be helpful for me. So thank you so much, Capricorn. You understand, boss up or shut up, right? And so I'm bossing up and not shutting up. So that is the theme of the month. And remain compassionate as well. You have to be vulnerable this month, right? And especially in your unionships. So that's all I have for you, Capricorn. I'll see you. Bye. Hey, Aquarius. So, Aquarius, starting off this month, we have the opposition to Pluto in your first house, and we have Mars and Leo in your seventh house. This right here is self care is on top of this menu, Aquarius. I really want to stress on the fact that whatever you want in life, you truly deserve it. And I know that taking the first step, seems, crazy. It's like, how am I ever going to get to the top? But having confidence in yourself and confidence in creativity, because this is you creatively expressing yourself. So I understand, like, of course people have the avenue to judge it, but do not let that stop you, Aquarius, because Pluto just moved into your sign. This is like this new refreshed type of energy that's going to last, for the next 20 years. But you know that you're capable of this, but there is a level of fear and pressure that you feel from this opposition. And I just want to make sure that I stress on the fact that you are never lacking, Aquarius. This is you being awareness, being coming into to awareness of who you are as a person and what part your relationship plays for you. This is something that you must go through. And so I feel as though you may spend a lot of time wanting to be alone, especially with the sun going into the sun in your 12th house in Capricorn. You want to be alone. There is a sense, actually it's needed for you to be alone, there's a sense of having to take care of yourself and take care of your behaviors. Venus moving into Pisces on the second house, in the second house, on the second. This is a beautiful time for your money zone, right? You can attract a lot of money, you know, but Aquarius, you have to restore your spirits, right? You have to pamper yourself back to health. And I don't mean by this can be medical health, but I mean by you have to understand that the journey, like you may feel like an imposter. Let's just say that, Aquarius. It's like you feel like you have this imposter syndrome about you. But moving into that next step of the unknown is gonna only work out for you, Capricorn. I mean, not Capricorn, Aquarius. And like I said, Venus and Pisces in your second house, there's a chance to attract money from you and your creativity, from the things that you create yourself. And in my opinion, that is beautiful, right? It's always like, especially in the year of 2025, there feels like there's this pull between who you are as a person, Aquarius, and your relationship. It's like they don't fit, it's almost like you have to pull from each one. You want to focus on yourself, but your relationship requires you. And so it's balancing out those in the year 2025. But in January, it's like it gets started to where everything becomes more focused on you. And it's such a beautiful transition, it's like a transition. That's what it is, and especially with um you know Cancer, the full moon in Cancer, this would be a great time for you to like quit the bad habits, quit the things that do not work out for you. This is a beautiful time for that, especially when Mars goes into Cancer on the 6th. This would be a time to practice these self-care routines, practice these health routines, reboot your energy if you need to. Excuse me. And that stems from the things that you put inside of your body, right? And the full moon on the 13th, as I said, is such a good time to quit any bad habits that do not serve you and that do not get your family into the next, the next phase of life, right? And so the sun is going to be in your sign on the 19th. And this is bringing back focus. So you're like, I'm feeling good again. Yeah, I'm the best, You're really pulling from the confidence of your identity and pulling from the confidence of yourself. self-worth. You're feeling more worthy of things, because things can happen for you, Aquarius, right? But there is there's this opposition that makes it feel like, you're not in the game. But when the sun goes into your sign, you are, um and you are taking care of yourself, you will definitely feel brand new. You know what I'm saying? And the Mercury is going to be conjuncting the sun in your sign on the 27th, and I just think that your self-expression comes with an amazing tone, right? You're able to express yourself with meaning and clarity, and I love this for you, Aquarius, because you have a lot to say. But like I said, because it feels like an imposter, like, how can I do this? How can I really do this? Take step by step. Because my favorite quote for this month is, I'd rather be moving slowly than be standing still, and that is really the theme with that. And so, with the Mercury in your sign, the sun in your sign, in conjunction, this is beautiful when it comes to talking to people too, saying the right thing. And the new moon in the 29th on your ascendant, this is definitely the time for a makeover, or it's time for you to start over. And because it's an Aquarius, Aquarius has that style, that look. This is a great time for a makeover. I would say, like, wash your hair, do a lot of self-care routines, but be ready to show your new look because, like I said, Aquarius, there are big changes coming for you, but only because you are the leader of this next phase of the world. Pluto in Aquarius, this is the age of Aquarius. You are the leader. And a lot is asked of you, and I just don't believe that anything can stop you, Aquarius. So, you know, the pressure is just there. The pressure is just pressure. The pressure is just there to make you into a diamond. And then on the 31st, when Uranus turns direct on 30 on in Taurus on the 30th, there is like I said, there is this itch to just go. You're now letting these things transform you. Instead of resisting them, it's more just letting these things change you because you know that it's bringing you to a better place, Aquarius. And like I said, nothing can really stop you from this, and no one can stop you. So, take into account in the month of January, and remember to always remain compassionate, loving, and vulnerable, Aquarius. And that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. If this video resonated with you, you can share it with your family members or send it to someone you think can find it useful. That would be extremely helpful for me. And I would love you forever. So thank you so much, Aquarius. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Pisces. Hey, Pisces. Okay, so Pisces. This is a huge month, January, right? Starting off 2025 in the Gregorian calendar, we want to focus on us. The North Node on the 11th of January. If you haven't gone to watch my video, please do. The nodes are shifting to Pisces in Virgo, and if you are nodal Pisces in Virgo, this is even more, important for you. So definitely go check out that video. So Pisces, this is beautiful, right? North Node in the first house, Rahu moving into the first house. To explain briefly, these are themes that are focused around yourself, around your will, what it matters to you. But on the opposite side, if you do have a unionship and relationship, this brings a detachment towards that. And these things are huge starting off this month, especially with the Mars and Pluto opposition. Pluto is in your 12th house. And then Mars is going to be in your sixth house. And this opposition is extreme because this is your body, right? This is, well, not your body. This is your health. It's your sense of duty. It's your mental health. And Pluto in the 12th house, that is just the health. This is subconscious behaviors, right? And so it's important to go on, as we're going into the beginning of the month, that we're paying attention to our mental health. Mental health is so vast and big. It's so many thoughts, so many words, and so many waves, so many dreams as well. And Venus going into your sign on the second kind of helps you a little bit, because Venus is attracting people, places, and things that help these things make a little bit more sense to you, Pisces. And then on the 6th, we have Mars going into Cancer. and Mars was just in Leo. So Mars going into Cancer on the 6th, this brings a focus on romance, romantic partners, children. And it's important to avoid hasty decisions on that day, especially making a hasty move, on that day as well. Okay. Because Neptune in Pisces is going to be in a square to Mercury, right? And this is really up in the chances of misunderstanding. Mercury is ruling over your seventh house, Pisces, and this can cause arguments or disagreements in relationships. It's really important for you to if you decide anything, that it would be after the full moon on the 13th in Cancer. Okay. It's like you're ready for solitude, Pisces. I understand, setting the time for introspection, quieting of the mind. I definitely understand, quiet is like where I can find a lot of information and just a lot of missing thoughts. It's like you can find a lot in your solitude. Being in introspection with Venus in your sign is such a beautiful thing. And I feel as though you attract a lot of people and a lot of like minded individuals that can help you see things a little bit more clearly, you know? And so when we have the sun, and then we have Mercury, and at the end of the month going into Aquarius, right? No, actually Mercury is going to be going into Capricorn. Okay. Let me see actually what I have. Yeah, Mercury is going to be going into Capricorn, and at the end of the month Mercury is going to be going into um, Aquarius. So you have all these planets in your 12th house, right? You have the sun in your 12th house, you have the new moon in your 12th house, and you have Mercury in Aquarius in your 12th house, and all of these planets coming get together in conjunction. There is this, you need quiet, and after being so social and after being out with people, seeing people, hanging around people, there is this emphasis on rest. This is a house of healing and rest. It's like you have to heal from the things that you've experienced. You need a silent day of retreat, and I feel you on this a lot, Pisces. And the new moon on the 29th gives you that new chance to put in a behavior that truly suits you, one that promotes self-care, but one that gets you back to center with yourself, to understanding your divinity, Pisces. And you know um with Neptune moving signs this year, Saturn moving from your sign this year, these are big shifts, and it's just so much better that you find center with yourself in the beginning of the year. Okay, because there's like, Jupiter, your traditional planet, is in retrograde right now, right? And then we also have Neptune in retrograde, or Neptune just came out of retrograde, but Neptune was in retrograde, and but it's moving signs, right? It's moving into Aries, and as I said, any type of planetary shift or anything like that is huge, and it makes Pisces risings, Pisces suns need to take time to retreat and time to process what's going on in the physical realm of reality, right? And self-care is your self-care is your theme for this month, and one that is creative too. Okay. And so the sun is going to be in Aquarius at the end of the month, and it's going to be trining um Jupiter and Gemini, which is a great time, to go on a trip. It's a great time to you know um book a vacation somewhere. It is just a good time to spend around other people, and but by yourself. Okay. Because the sun is going to be in your 12th house, so you're going to want to spend time by yourself, whether it's spending time in a nice, hot place, or whether it's just spending time in a place of learning, whether you're taking a class or something like that, but definitely spending time alone. Sorry if that made a lot of noise. But yeah, definitely spending time alone, Pisces, is going to help you this month. And understanding that, remember, Saturn is still in your first house, and having all these planets come into your first house, it gives you this huge sense of beauty. And as I said, North Node is going to be in your first house as well. This is huge for you, Pisces. Starting off this year, you're starting off extremely strong, and it's important to keep up with those, spiritual practices, because you have to put your energy somewhere. You have to put your emotions somewhere. You have to express yourself in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Um Mars is in Cancer, and these are, so many planets, and everything is really focused on you at the beginning of the year, Pisces. Focus on your health, focus on you, focus on getting along with the person in your relationship as best as you can, right? K2 likes to start up a lot of chaos and nonsense, but it also wants to clear away that karma as well. So that's all I have for you, Pisces. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't gone to watch the other video of North Node and Pisces, and this is your nodal return, please go do so. You have to, you must. It's really huge. And if you found this video useful, I would love it if you can share it with someone and they can find it useful as well, especially if it resonated with you. And so that's all I have. So I'll see you on the next video. Bye, Pisces.